And hello, everybody. I haven't got my thing up. Oh no, I don't know what to say. I haven't got my whole thing up. Hello, welcome to Ready Play Go, the place where streamers, weirdos, and nerds get together and play TTRPGs. Last week we ended on quite the cliffhanger, where the crew on Martha are surrounded by 6 USCMC fighter ships, warships, and Tavin received an emergency signal of weapons lock on. So yeah, that was quite a way to end. Tonight we are joined by the whole cast of Haberdactor, Outmost Ghost, Docs Ryan, and Avery Connors. But as you can see by the camera, Avery Connors got some dental work, and we are doing it this
I
way.
had surgery.
Yes.
Yay!
So Avery will not be as terrified today, hopefully. Because we don't want to burst any stitches.
Because the drugs he's on. It's all the drugs.
So yes. If at any point Avery it gets too sore, you can just type away and we will make it work like that, because the main thing is that you are here to experience it, and that's all that I wish for. So yes, moving on. I need to make sure that I've got my thing right. There, it's there. So before we begin, a quick disclaimer. There we go. Our Alien game is intended for those 18 and over. With both action and horror vibes, the game is intended to play into character fears. This may invoke anxiety. We have ground rules set up that all players agree to, but if anything within the game causes distress, please stop watching. We understand that the game may not be for everyone, and your support in any capacity is always appreciated. With that, please get yourself comfy, and we will jump into today's episode of Alien Entrapment. So, we find ourselves on Martha.
With Joshua fixing his hair.
Joshua is undeterred about the warning system that is happening within the bridge right now.
Well, look, only Tavin can do anything about it. What's the point of worrying? I can't fix this.
So,
No.
You can't fix that.
yeah.
Carrigan can't fix that. We're all gonna die if Tavin isn't good enough. And Tavin totally good enough.
Yep. Fastest episode ever. So, yes, we find ourselves on Martha, on the bridge. Joshua, Carrigan, Andrea, and Jamie, alongside a Tavin who is currently looking at the computer system and staring out the window of the bridge at the 6 warships. Tavin, how do you feel at this moment in time?
Feel like Tavin is very pissed off that people are shooting at his ship. and is trying to kind of get into that zone of, okay, now I need to actually be a pilot and not get blown up.
Yes. So, Tavin, as the red light flashes on and off, plunging the bridge into somewhat darkness before a dull red glow, an alarm sounding at the exact same frequency and pulse. The rest of you, what are you doing in this moment? As you see a Tavin looking a lot more pissed off at what is happening rather than what you would normally feel in an emergency situation.
Do we know we're being aimed at?
Tavin, would you have gave out that information?
No, I think he'd be
yeah.
more focused on
Yeah.
that. You would just be seeing like an emergency light going off.
Yeah. So you're just all of a sudden plunged into this pulsing red light with an alarm bell sounding. Tavin pissed off and focused.
It's very loud. I'm gonna get out of the way and leave the bridge so I'm not a distraction.
Very well.
What's this alarm?
The Chris, take over, please.
Yes.
My mouth.
Tavin in that moment is just so focused on, you can see him like trying to work things out and just kind of run through things. In this moment, there is zero reply, but Carrigan, having been in not so much this situation, but emergency situations, you can kind of get that feeling of this is something to just not let him do what he's doing in order to solve whatever's going on. And at the same time, Andrea has left the bridge.
Evan will turn to her for just half a second, say, missiles are locking on.
Maybe we don't threat to vent people. And then I'm going to leave the bridge.
Joshua?
I'm gonna slide into the co-pilot's chair and see if there's anything I could do to assist.
Very well. As you sit in, it's kind of strange because of all the ships that you have been in, even though you've been here before, it still takes you aback that this co-pilot seat is probably one of the very few that literally has zero systems in which you can do something, because it is being completely converted where one seat controls everything, because Tavin is so used to being alone. It got a bit tiring having to go from one seat to the other seat to be able to get such a use of all the instruments. But you are able to sit down, and Tavin, you as Joshua kind of sits down silently, you get that notion of he's there to help if you need it, and you do get this kind of calming feeling kind of wash over you of there's someone, someone that knows you can do your work.
Okay. Tavin's gonna try and angle the ship the bare minimum to dodge the ship directly in front of him and activate the minimum faster than light travel emergency jump.
Very well. Give me a piloting roll.
All right.
And add your bonuses because you
Yeah,
don't
We're
want to
about
forget.
that FTL skip.
One
Okay,
success.
One success. So yes, Andrea and Carrigan, you'll probably feel this more since you are currently making your way to whatever part of the ship you happen
I'm
to
just
be making.
getting out of the bridge.
Yeah. Well, you'll find yourself in a corridor.
Yay!
Literally.
But as you all are kind of embracing the severity of what is happening, you all feel a slight shudder in the ship, and in an instant you feel the breath almost pulled out of your body as this overwhelming sense of pressure and emotion and feeling just encompasses you. Carrigan and Andrea, can you give me agility rolls, please?
Okay.
You also don't feel it in just your body. You feel it in your brain, too.
Yeah.
Like it's a wrong feeling.
Okay.
Ha.
0 successes. So, Andrea and Carrigan, as this overwhelming, it's not a painful pressure, but it is like a heavy atmospheric pressure, kind of encompasses everything in your body, and you can feel like this pressure behind like your eyeballs and everything. You are both knocked to the ground, and within a split second, a lot of that feeling just dissipates. I need everyone to roll me a d10, please.
Okay. Ha. Ha.
Okay.
Run the gamut here.
Yep. Okay. So we're just gonna pull up this. Okay, right. Joshua, in
Mm-hmm.
this split second that almost feels as if it draws out for days. Looking from the bridge, you just see these ships in front of you just in a flash of light disappear. And in that split second, you just come into darkness in space as you feel you are about to vomit. You are able to pull that back into your gut. There is a wave of nausea, more than you've even experienced in cryosleep. This is like one where even like your bones ache and your muscles ache, but it lasts only a few moments before you're able to push everything down and start getting your senses again. Carrigan, as this wave of pressure and emotion and this whirlwind of every part of your senses going haywire. You close your eyes, and almost in a blink, once you open them, you do vomit all over the corridor outside of the bridge. And you do have a pounding headache. Like, this is almost on the cusp of a migraine, but it is a very, very bad headache that you can just feel right at the crown of your head. Avery, or Tavin, sorry. You also vomit. And the effects of this whirlwind kind of rocked momentum kind of lingers with you, where you're trying to look at your console and your computer, and everything just has that haze and blur. I will say, for the next shift, which counts as like 15 minutes in game time, you do have a -1 to piloting rolls and other agility and wits rolls. And Andrea.
Yeah. Just gone.
You actually, not Andrea, Carrigan.
Oh.
As this headache pounds just on the top of your head, you are able to bring yourself back to the focus as you turn to your right and you see an incapacitated Andrea lying on the ground, not moving.
Okay, I'm gonna check her.
Okay, give me a what? How do you mean check her? As in just look her over?
I want
or...
to make sure she's like breathing.
Okay. Give me an observation for that. One success. She is not.
I'm gonna put my hands around her arms and start pulling her back into the bridge and screaming for Joshua.
Okay. Joshua, you do hear and see a screaming Carrigan dragging in a limp Andrea body.
I'll unstrap and head over that way.
Okay. You get over to them. Give me a medical aid.
Medical. Watch me fumble this.
2 successes. Okay. You check for breathing to confirm, and Andrea is not breathing. You check for a pulse, and there is a very faint but weak pulse. You're not sure exactly what's happened, but from what you're seeing, this needs to be dealt with quickly.
Just hey Kerrigan, let's get her up and let's get her to obey. She needs to be treated right away.
All right.
Okay. You are able to get to the somewhat med bay area, which was basically just a larger kind of cupboard room that you've kind of put some of your equipment and a gurney and stuff like that in. You get Andrea onto the bed, and you are able to do what you do best.
Start just working on her and figure out what's wrong. My guess is she probably smashed her head on a corridor wall or something.
Okay. I will say with your 2 successes, there doesn't appear to be any outside damage.
Probably, my best guess is she hit her head and is now suffering subdural hematoma.
Okay. Okay. What do you wish to do in this moment?
I don't have a full setup, but I do have I've got a med kit, so I'll probably get her run through like the course of like drugs of what I got. So probably like anything anti-inflammatory to bring whatever potential swelling down, check her reflexes and neural response to like stimuli. And if none of that works, then it's just keep her alive until we can get to the base.
Okay. So are you going to use your med kit?
Yep.
Okay. I will say before you make your roll. Actually, I won't say make your roll.
Okay. Med kit adds +2, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. No success, no fail.
Okay.
Can push.
Yeah, push.
But I was about to say I can push the roll though. So we'll do that. 2
Okay.
successes.
2 successes.
So I
Nothing
gotta make a stress roll
happens.
from the push, right?
Yes, you do have to make a stress roll. No, you don't. You don't. You just gain 1 level of stress.
That's right. That's right.
But you do use your med kit. You look over, put in what you feel is required, and nothing happens. Pulse is still faint, still not breathing.
Okay. This isn't working. We need to move her to a cryo bed. Cryo beds have built-in bio monitors and scanners. I'll throw her in a cryo bed and boot it up and see if I can get any information from that.
Okay.
Okay.
So grab the IV and just kind of like move her as safely as possible, and then get a cryo bed up and moving.
Okay. Yep. You're able to do that. No problem at all. The med bay, I would say, is kind of not far from the cryo because it seems to make sense that if something happens in the
Right.
cryo, then you can get straight there. So you're able to get Andrea to a cryo pod. You put her in, shut everything down, set everything up. As the scan or the pod does its kind of biosensors and metrics and stuff like that, you do get the information that this was not a brain injury, but the computer does state that Andrea has suffered a heart attack. And
Oh,
immediate medical attention is required.
all right. Treating a heart
Okay.
attack.
So because I'm following him, I take it that I also got the information.
Yeah,
about the
you'd
heart
be
attack?
able to
Yeah,
see.
I'd be relaying it as I'm getting it, but I'm like focused on her.
I would like to, first of all, hey, so this is from the FTL jump without any fucking warning or, being told to sit down, just letting us walk the fuck out of there and jump into FTL.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to walk to the bridge. Well, I'm not going to walk to the bridge. I'm going to run to the bridge.
Okay.
Now that I know it's a heart attack, I'm gonna work on a procedure to treat a heart attack.
Okay. You, Joshua, you will know from having treated this kind of thing. This isn't something that a med kit would be able to do. This is if the patient is on the cusp of death, the kit required would be something that is able to prevent that outcome. So things that would be handy are the likes of a proper med lab or a proper hospital or surgical equipment, anything like that that would be able to do what you need to do.
So she has no sinus rhythm and no breathing.
Know what in breathing?
So she has no sinus rhythm, no heartbeat.
Yes. Or it's a very,
Uh,
very faint heartbeat and pulse. And very
Okay.
weak, but no breathing.
I guess, seeing as how she has a weak pulse and a heartbeat, but she's not breathing, we can start CPR to try and kickstart her respiration, and then I can worry about the pulse. Need to get her breathing. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Is Jamie around?
Jamie is probably still in the bridge.
Okay. I need to find a way to make a makeshift defibrillator. Look around the cryo bay. Is there any Tavin ship? So there's probably a loose panel somewhere.
Give me observation.
Observation.
Okay.
Oof. One and a stress. 3 on the stress.
You aren't able to find a panel that has broken or loose or anything like that. But as you are kind of scrambling around trying to find something, you do then see the broken pod that you can ascertain you would be able to get some form of electricity from that.
Heck. Cool. I'm gonna I don't have I've met on Martha a couple times. Does Martha have a ship AI that's voice operated,
Yes.
or is it all push to talk?
What do you mean, as in like a communication system?
Yeah, like so in the Aliens universe, some ships have AI and that will respond voice. Other ships are actually like you got to go and like hit the panel.
Oh,
I don't remember if Martha has that.
Martha
It
does
has
have it.
both, but it only responds to Tavin for voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Okay. I'm gonna run over to the comm panel and be like, Jamie, get your ass in the cryo bay. I need your help.
Okay. As we flash over to the bridge, Tavin, you also hear this ship-wide comm message of Joshua asking Jamie to get to the bridge. As Jamie kind of cleans himself up, a bit disorientated, starts kind of swaying their way towards the cryo bay as a running angry Carrigan runs into the bridge door.
I will
Hey,
say Tavin has spent this time after throwing up making sure they're not going to crash into a planet because that was an unaimed FTL jump.
Yeah. You are totally
making
fine.
sure they're not being followed.
Yeah, you are. The space in front of you is empty, and with a quick scan of the radar, there's nothing in a dangerous vicinity to you. Apart from Carrigan, who is behind you.
Tavin will wipe off his mouth and say, "Yes, Carrigan."
How far away from a station, any station with medical?
Tavin,
Pulling up my map.
as you kind of put your stuff in, the closest star system is the Nebulae system, which you do know does have a planetary system that has trade routes in and out. So you can kind of assume they would have medical facilities there.
Like making a rough estimate, how long would it take to travel there outside of FTL?
Outside of FTL, you're probably talking about 25 days. With FTL,
What about with FTL?
30 seconds.
Yeah, but it'd be way worse to do 30 seconds in FTL with no one prepared than 2 seconds. I'll just say that roughly 20 to 30 days outside
no,
FTL
30
with 30
seconds.
seconds FTL.
Sorry. Hold on. 30 seconds seems too much for 25 days. 8 seconds.
8 seconds, which is significantly more than one that we did before, or half a second, not even one. About 8 seconds FTL, or 20 days.
If you FTL and someone's had a heart attack and they're in a cryopod, are they going to get worse?
In a cryopod, maybe, maybe not. I don't know for a heart attack. The cryopod is kind of meant to help protect people from it, not stop them from already being hurt from it. That was half a second to a quarter second of FTL that we just did. 8 seconds will kill everyone on the ship, most likely.
It took us more than a day away from Novgorod.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was an emergency jump. We were going to get blown up if I didn't do that.
You think we
Because
would
I can't outrun 6 military ships.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna say, next time, give some fucking warning when you know people are walking around. And then, Gay Mother, I would very much like to punch Tavin in the face. Now, I don't have close combat. Can I argue for just a strength check? Because I'm not trying to fight him. I just want to punch him.
I will say, in this instance, we'll have to ask Avery for permission, just on the basis of one of the original rules was no
I know.
PvP. So it would be up to Avery in this instance. If I would probably say that it would be more of the effect rather than damage and health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So
I think even since you have 0 in close combat, it would just use your strength. Like
Yeah.
it would.
Okay.
yeah. So give me a close combat roll. 2 successes. Tavin, you are able to use your RB mobility. Might be mobility to avoid it, but you do still have a -1 modification to your rolls due to your FTL jump. If you wish to roll to attempt to avoid it.
I will. I don't know how to. Do I do a -1 to do that? There we go.
Yeah.
1 success.
Okay, so you do see the punch coming, but it does still connect, and it does leave you with quite a loud ringing in your ear. And as you kind of like, you get rocked, and as you kind of like come to, Carrigan, are you just walking back out?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, give us 30 seconds so that we can get strapped the fuck down, and then Andrea is gonna die if we don't get somewhere. So that's on you. And I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna run back to the cryo bay and tell everybody to get strapped in, because my anticipation is for another FTL jump.
Okay.
Didn't command. I just let him know what's up.
No, that's cool. This up.
I'm gonna kind of throw over my shoulder as I'm leaning, like to go out and just be like, let us know when we're jumping.
No problem. So yeah, Tavin, as you kind of get your senses kind of knocked back to you, you do have angry walking out Carrigan telling you this information. I'm just want to have another quick look here. What is the FTL rating of Martha?
20.
Pardon? 20?
20.
Okay. Try to just work it with this. Right. It might actually be slightly less. And try. I think it's 3.5 PC. I think that might be the jump time, which is substantially even better. Yeah, looking at your kind of between your FTL and kind of the distance and stuff like that, you're probably actually talking closer to kind of 2 seconds for your jump. Just on the actual system. But while you're considering the options that you have, we are going to flash back to the cryo bay where Jamie has now joined you and is a little worse for wear, but for the most part is able to assist as best they can.
I'm gonna look at him. Answer and make it short. Do you know CPR?
No.
Okay. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna pinch your nose, tilt their head back, and you're gonna breathe in her mouth. 2 breaths. Take a breath. Wait. 2 breaths. I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna make a real quick thing, and then I'm gonna come back. And then as soon as I get her breathing again, we're gonna throw in a cryopod. 2 breaths. Take a breath. 2 breaths. Take a breath. go. And I'm going to run over to the busted pod, and I'm going to try and see if I could pull the monitoring panel, the busted monitoring panel, and try and see if I could strip the wire and get a little sparky spark.
Okay. Jamie begins to do what you've told him. From what you can see, again, for it being first time trying to do in a panic situation, seems to be fine. You are able to get across, rip out the panel, rip out the wires. Just for fun, give me a heavy machinery roll.
Nothing. 4 on the panic die.
That's okay. It doesn't do anything. Okay. You rip open the panel. You are able to find 2 wires. As you go to pull them out, you're about halfway to the bay or the pod before the wires begin to go. We'll say at that moment, Carrigan will have just made it back to the cryo bay.
Okay. I'm doing the panel in case her heart rate falters. That's the emergency. I'm kind of talking out loud to myself. I'm like, okay, as Carrigan walks in, if her heart stops, I can do this as a makeshift defibrillator. Got to get her breathing, throw her in the pod, and then the pod will stabilize her rhythms. Does Carrigan say anything? Because Joshua's just running through the process out loud real quick.
We're 20 days out from anywhere. We're going to have to FTL again.
Okay, well, if we don't get her breathing and we shove her in a pod, she's going to die. Because a pod will suspend her biorhythms. It won't revive them.
I understand that.
So
you got to work fucking fast.
You know CPR, right? Carrigan, you're trained.
Game mother? I mean, I was in the Marines and I'm a marshal. I don't
You would without a doubt know CPR.
You would know CPR.
Without a doubt you would.
Okay, I have a 0 in medical aid though, so like
that's fine.
You'd want to do that.
Okay. Take over for Jamie, and I'm now gonna start running through my med kit and see if I can grab a combination of. I need to jumpstart her system, so I probably have adrenaline because her heartbeat is weak. But if I can get her pulse up, that could kickstart her lungs. So I'm gonna grab three drugs: adrenaline, shit, I had it in my head and I don't have it now. Adrenaline, epinephrine, that's synthetic adrenaline, and some morphine.
Okay. As you run back to your makeshift med lab, Carrigan, since this is an action that you would have learned, I'll give you a +1 to your medical roll because it is information that you have. So give me a medical aid with your +1.
And then add
+1.
We'll push.
Okay.
Nice.
You between you and Jamie giving mouth to mouth, you giving compressions. Things just aren't working, and you kinda get this feeling of your duty to protect those around you, and you subconsciously push Jamie to, not aggressively, you don't shove him to the ground and injure, but you push him out the way, and you begin taking over every aspect of it. And by the time, Joshua, you walk back into the room, Carrigan has Andrea back at a stable but still not out of danger pulse, and has faint breathing back.
Cool. All right. Good job, Carrigan. Let's get her in the pod and get the pod to cycle through. Cryopods have normal, and then they should have an emergency startup for the situation. So get her in the pod, get the pod closed, and try and trigger the emergency like cryo mode.
Yep, it's not the first time that you've had to do this. So you are able to get her kind of situated, stabled, and the pod start up quick. And the pod at this time is able to maintain the vitals that are happening right now, but again, the emergency and the danger has not left.
She's in critical condition, but she'll
Yes.
survive if we get her to medbay.
Yes.
During this time, Tavin is going to plot a course to the nearest station that would probably have medical facilities,
Mm-hmm.
and but not trigger it because that would be very dangerous. And is going to just have it set on course and then make his way to the cryo beds.
Yep, no problem. You're able to set all that up. As you get to the cryo bed or the cryo bay, you find Carrigan and Joshua kind of breathing heavily, kind of not as panicked as was during that ordeal. And Andrea in a pod set up and doing what it should, and Jamie is sort of just not dazed, but kind of just sitting in the corner, kind of
Like, what the fuck just
Yeah.
happened?
yeah.
Tavin, when he walks in, is going to say, "All right, we're plotted to jump to the nearest station, but everyone needs to get in cryo sleep."
All right.
Oh,
Get
and
Jamie
Carrigan,
settled in.
no warning would have helped. She had a heart attack, didn't bang her head. Strapped into a chair, she still would have had a heart attack.
You are not a doctor, and I'm pretty sure being unsecured and having no idea what was coming didn't fucking help.
Hey, Joshua, you're a doctor. Would she still have had a heart attack?
Tough to say. The initial shock of the jump could have done any number of things, but
This
I'm gonna
isn't
tell
the
you,
fucking time.
you're right. It ain't the time. So you, Captain Tight Ass, get in a cryopod, and Stick Jockey, get in a cryopod. We'll settle this shit when we get Andrea safe. Now,
Well,
move.
I have to be the last to get in so I can trigger the jump.
Yeah, no
before.
shit, Tavin. Just, you know what I mean. Quit fucking pissing contest to get in the fucking pod. We got shit to do.
Joshua, Carrigan, you quickly get yourself into your pods. Jamie gets into his pod with a little bit of a tear because he hasn't quite gotten over the last time he was in this. Pods all close. Tavin, you're able to trigger the cryo sleep to the 3 pods, and it leaves just you.
Tavin will go to get into the cryopod, but just before going in, we'll tell Martha, in 30 seconds, make the jump. and that should give enough time for the cryopod to take effect on everyone.
Yeah. Your pod door closes. As the timer ticks down, cryopods start up. You all get put into your sleep stasis, and the clock ticks down. Martha triggers your FTL, and the jump happens. Tavin, your pod opens first because it's a normal occurrence that the pilot pod will open first so that you can make sure everything's sorted. Are you opening everybody else's pod before going to the bridge to check, or?
I'll open Joshua's pod first and then go to the bridge.
Okay. You open Joshua's pod. Joshua, as you kind of come to, feeling nauseous, still try to shake off the last one. You do see Tavin darting out of the cryo bay toward, or in the direction that you would know is going to the bridge.
I'll follow him, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. You fall into step behind. You both get to the bridge. Tavin, the first thing that you see as you get to the bridge and look out, the location that Martha has signaled as kind of the nearest occupied area turns out not to be a station, but within the Nebulae star system, you have come across a not necessarily tiny, but a somewhat small-sized planet. And Martha on the console has the kind of beacon set for the kind of biggest or the most populous area of this planet, and it does signal as it is a colonized populous area. It's not just a barren or and you do see the occasional transporter freighter kind of within kind of orbit of this planet.
Haven's gonna fly towards it, and when he gets within communication range, will send out a message saying, "This is the Marthanóir seeking emergency landing for medical emergency."
Okay. Literally within 10-15 seconds, you get a reply message back to say you are clear to land within the spaceport. It gives you a kind of space number or a parking number, and it gives you information that atmosphere is breathable and stuff like that. Just the normal rundown of any kind of planet system for information that you would require so that you can disembark your ship. As you begin to fly in, are you going to fly straight in just now, or are you looking to do anything else while you're kind of approaching?
He's gonna fly straight in because he doesn't want her to die.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's cool. So you do start to fly in, and as you begin to kind of breach the atmosphere, Everything kind of heating up that little bit, because this planet does seem to have an atmosphere. Like, this has an Earth-like quality. As you kind of come in close, you do see that the entire area that you can see from Martha is cloud cover, and it is grey cloud cover. Your radar picks up like a lot of like buildings and stuff like that, and it has the blip for the spaceport. You go through this cloud cover, and as you do, Martha begins to get hit with what appears to be heavy rain. Everything looks dull, not necessarily desolate. It's as you start kind of thyming in or coming in more, you do start to see neon lights and vibrancy, life, and you are or give me a pilot roll with your pluses.
I only get a +1 instead of a +2, right? Because I'm at a -1.
No, well, this would count as a different shift at this point now.
Okay.
So just go back to your 2. Very good. 2 successes. So you start coming into land, and as you kind of get 100 feet, 90 feet, 80 feet, you do see a bunch of people running out of the kind of spaceport doors. Some wearing medical gear, and they all kind of prepare for you landing, which you're able to do no problem at all.
Once we land, I'll open the external door for the medical personnel and kind of like use the lights to lead them to the cryo bay.
Yep.
And turn to Joshua and say you should meet them in the cryo bay.
Already moving.
Okay. Yep, that's no problem. Looking at the kind of camera system that you've got for that kind of front door, you do see a bunch of probably about 4-5 people dressed in what looks to be like medical gear and just kind of like normal jumpsuit clothing kind of thing, as they kind of rush in with medical bags and stuff like that. Joshua, you are met at the med bay with these 5 people, and you can't quite understand what they're saying. They're they have quite a groveling tone to themselves, and they're kind of more talking at you than to you kind of thing. As they kind of point at both or all 3 currently in use cryobait pods, trying to figure out which one it is. Oh, your mic's
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, muted.
Oh, that was weird. My mic randomly muted itself. Point to the Andrew's cryopod and say, That's the patient. Erratic heart arrhythmia or faint heart arrhythmia, respiration in distress due to FTL induced heart attack.
Oh.
And then just kind of give them a quick spec. And once they get her on the gurney and rolling, I'll go help get Carrigan and Jamie awake.
Okay. Yep. They are very quick and easily get Andrea out of the pod onto a gurney and get her out of the ship. Carrigan, as you kind of come to as your pod door opens, Joshua is in the cryo bay, and as you kind of groggily look over, Andrea's pod is open and empty, and Jamie's pod is now currently opening. Joshua, you do see the projectile vomit coming out of Jamie's pod.
Walk over to Jamie and go, "So how you like space?"
No.
You'll get over it, kid.
Then he
Walk
just
over
sort
to
of
Carrigan.
rolls over.
Walk over to Carrigan. How you feeling?
Fine. Did we get
Okay.
her somewhere?
Yeah. Med staff got her. They're gonna transport her. Give them the rundown of her condition.
Good.
I'm gonna head over there shortly. I just wanted to make sure you
Good.
all were all right.
I'm gonna start to crawl out. I want to grab Joshua's arm.
Just help her up.
Get your dude under control, man.
Yeah, I will. You got to work on your anger issues, though. Good. On your
Tell
feet.
me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know what happened. All I know is something happened between you two, and we'll deal with that as soon as we get Andrea taken care of. As soon as she's steady, I'm gonna grab my gear and start headed into the spaceport, looking for the hospital.
Okay. Yep, you are able to get to the front. Is anybody else following Joshua?
Best I can.
Okay. Tavin, are you going or are you staying on the ship?
Tavin is staying on the ship.
Okay. Carrigan, Joshua, as you kind of get to the front door, it's quite I mean, you've seen it before, but it's a rare occurrence that you've been somewhere where it happens. But it is hoofing it down. This is like the rain is almost bouncing back up to the sky. It is just a heavy downpour with a dull, overcast sky that just seems to stretch. As you go out, you do see that in many different spots, there's almost like a kind of rain covering, almost like this is a normal occurrence. So you are able to kind of go from pillar to post dry sections as you get to the kind of front of the concourse. As you kind of go in the front door, it's almost like an airport arrival setup kind of thing. There's quite a few people that look as if they're just coming back from transports, people that are getting out. You have a quick look about and you are able to find signs to take you to the kind of main hospital that Andrea would have been taken to. So you get there within a few minutes, and as you go in, this hospital looks used. It's not new, and it doesn't look as if it has a lot of kind of doctors and nurses, but it does actually look quite advanced. You are able to kind of get to where Andrea is being worked on, and after about 15 minutes, you are led into a room. Andrea, can you give me a D20 roll, please?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Did you get 11? Okay. As you both walk in, lying on a bed, unmoving, is your crewmate, Andrea. And as you both sort of go in to our bedside, one of the nurses does pull back a curtain to give you privacy as Andrea sits up and gives a hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
What happened?
You died.
Oh,
Well, technically you didn't die, but you know.
well, yeah. Huh. How do I put that in my report? Damn it.
Just write, I died.
Suffered
Yeah.
cardiac arrest after an unannounced FTL jump.
Are you okay, Carrigan?
No.
Oh. They gave me some jello. Do you want it?
No. You eat your jello.
Carrigan's a fruit cup kind of girl.
Well, thank you guys for saving me.
I'll build a company later.
Yeah. I mean, if I died, then they probably would have charged you for lost equipment, and that would be kind of, not great for you guys. And so I'm glad that you guys don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Losing equipment's not things I like to do.
Well, no, but yeah.
So,
Where are we?
Planet
I have no-
Scotland.
Rude.
I was gonna say, I have no fucking clue.
You
Little
know, cloud
asshole
cover,
doesn't
piss and rain.
communicate anything.
I
Look,
mean,
look.
I'm sure he's stressed out too. What? I mean, what happened?
I don't know. He just hit FTL while we were leaving the bridge. You passed out. I didn't. Couldn't revive
didn't.
you.
Joshua, do you know what happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but I would assume that when he said there was missile lock, he didn't have the time to evade it. So probably FTL skipped for half quarter second. And
Well, I mean, that's better than everybody dying. If only one person died, no, the rest of you were fine. That was okay.
Shut up,
Yeah.
Andrea.
Sorry.
You.
Carrigan is very difficult.
Do you want to know what makes me difficult, Josh? Being woken up out of cryosleep before the rest of you guys and told that I need to change my attitude when I didn't do anything to fucking Tavin on that. All I did was ask his name, and he lost his fucking shit. So we can blame this all on me, but that's not what's fucking happening. Then he jumps FTL. Andrea
To save
nearly
us.
died.
She did die, technically.
It's fine.
And then he wanted to fucking argue about what happened instead of jumping.
Oh.
Blame it all on me though.
Well, it's not your
No.
fault.
Not blaming it on you. You miss it. See,
Yeah, I gotta
okay.
control my anger though.
No, okay. Yeah,
Who
well,
said
you
that?
do. I did, because she does.
Oh,
What I'm
I
saying
think she's
is,
fine.
of course you do. You're her best friend.
I want to be.
Here's what I'm saying. It's not your fault. The thing is Tavin and you, Carrigan, y'all don't people well. So Tavin does
Again.
things one way, isolated, socially awkward, doesn't deal with people, cargo-y, doesn't understand the nuance of human communication real well. And then you have you, who's very like blunt, upfront, and very like boom, boom, boom by the book. Well, not by the book, but like point by point.
He also threatened to vent a captain in the USCMC and then double down on it by
Yeah, that was probably
reiterating
not
to
smart.
me that he would vent me in a second. So again, I don't think my anger is unwarranted and really the fucking issue here.
Didn't say it was unwarranted. And I will address Tavin's dumbass in due time. What I'm saying is you and Tavin are like oil and water. It ain't mixing real well. Because he's an idiot for running his mouth, obviously. And we'll deal with that. He's also very uncomfortable because you are you, Carrigan. You are... How can I put this?
Carrigan is a force of nature and a force for justice, and a very I can't think of the word. You're a paragon of doing things for people.
And with that, and the way you handle things, it makes Tavin uncomfortable.
Again, this started because I asked his name and didn't want him to leave us on a space station.
That's fair.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, it's duly noted. That's fair.
Do you think he's the type that doesn't talk to cops?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's his main
okay.
problem.
I
Is
wonder
Carrigan?
why.
You are the cop of cops. Okay, let's call it a spade. You are the recruitment poster of like I am the law. Okay, you have zero chill at all.
Hold on. I want to go above table for 1 second so that everybody can understand what just happened. Avery just sent us in our chat out of game a picture of Patrick from SpongeBob writing "fuck the popo" on a wall.
Yep.
Because you guys can't see it, but we're laughing. So just a little behind the curtain. I'm sorry, Docs.
You're
Back
good.
into character.
You're good.
I can't. I will never be able to do that.
A-cab, baby, A-cab, let's go.
Look, the whole time since it started, and like you're talking about CPR, and all I'm thinking about is like doing the CPR thing, and then like a rib breaks.
Yeah.
Stay alive. Yep.
Crack.
I'm laughing on my head the whole time, and I can't say anything because we can't be silly all the time.
Because I'm
We
so
can be silly, just not
serious.
every 2 hours.
All right. I'm sorry, Dax. I know I
Go
took you
back.
out of the middle of a monologue. Sorry.
You're good. We're I'm right with you. We're professionals, damn it.
Shifty eyes, loud sweating.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the scene.
Yeah.
You have zero fucking chill. Okay? Like, with you, there is no gray fucking area at all. And you can't say there's not because you're you. The shit that you do makes space truckers and anybody who so much as gets a parking ticket is nervous around you. That doesn't justify Tavin's stupidity, guaranteed. But if you loosen the gun belt a couple notches and you maybe didn't spit shine the badge so much, you wouldn't be so goddamn off-putting to everybody.
That's how
Not
people
me.
fucking die.
You're right, it is. But there
I mean-
comes a point where like you kind of gotta people so that they don't react in the shittiest ways when it comes to you.
But
And you're not the problem by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying. He didn't give you his last name because you're fucking Marshall Carrigan.
But she's what every marshal should be. How are we gonna?
Ideally, yes, but in
How are we
reality,
gonna
it don't
follow?
work that way. People aren't black and white, Carrigan. The law isn't always the law.
The law is always the law. It's just some situations require people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise do, even if they don't like it.
Right. But again, I'm not saying it's your fault, Carrigan. I'm just saying why Tavin is the way he is.
It
He's
is
been
not
alone for
my responsibility to mother him and coddle him so that he isn't nervous when a person who is suddenly thrust into a crew that they didn't want anything to do with, taken off of their station where they're supposed to be keeping the population safe. And when that person says, "Oh, by the way, I didn't catch your name," and you respond with, "Fuck you."
Again, I'm not debating if he was wrong. He was wrong, clearly. We're talking about Zero Chill Carrigan. I get you're uncomfortable. I get you don't like the situation.
Oh, I'm
Fuck,
totally comfortable.
I don't fucking want to be here either. No offense, Andrea. I don't
Oh,
want to
it's
be
fine.
sad.
I
I don't want to be
understand.
saddled with a Wayland Yutani leash, sent out in the middle of fucking nowhere to investigate a situation that they could have easily sent the fucking crew to look into, but they sent me, the wonderful person that I am.
I don't disagree
You-
with that. I don't disagree with that at all, Josh. But I didn't fucking start this. And no one, and I mean absolutely fucking no one, including up to my Uncle John, who apparently you know, is going to talk to me so disrespectfully, repeatedly.
That's fair. I'm just saying, like, can you like just dial the fucking badassery back about 2 notches so that nobody is like, fuck, it's the cops, man.
No.
All right.
It's at
Joshua,
that
how do
moment.
you know her uncle? Sorry,
Go on, you go if you want to continue.
Joshua, how do you know her Uncle John?
He was in the military. I was in the military. He was in charge of an operation. went sideways. He somehow came out looking good. I didn't. And I sort of shit on his Wheaties one day, and it didn't go so well for me.
You probably deserved it.
Oh, he did. Trust me. Trust me. The operation we were on, I didn't have a choice. And somehow, he was a lieutenant back then. And when shit hit the fan, he panicked like a fucking toddler having a fucking temper tantrum. And if it wasn't for the decisions I had to make, he wouldn't be alive. But that didn't go in his after action report. None of the shit I did or sacrificed went in the after action report. All it was my brilliant command decision led to a fuck up by an operator in the field, even though that operator in the field did all he could to save your fucking bacon, not your bacon, his bacon. But that's neither here nor there. He's a political officer at best.
I don't
And
disagree.
he shouldn't be in the position he's in. And he wouldn't be in the position if it wasn't for the actions of me and my spotter.
Do you want my Jello?
No, I just annoyed. Just annoyed. But anyway, like I said, Carrigan, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, like, Tavin will be dealt with, but like, you got to loosen the boot laces a bit, because people sometimes you got to massage people instead of kicking their ass constantly.
For your information, I did try to explain myself to him. And he basically told me to fuck myself. So.
All right, well, I'll slap him around for that. And I'm not asking you to mama him, Carrigan.
He's going to make his own life miserable if he continues to try and fuck with me.
Agreed. And threatening a captain in the U.S. in the Marines was not a brilliant play, and I'm going to be talking to him about that because that was fucking stupid. But anyway, the reason I'm here is to check on the patient. Andrea, how you feeling?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm glad you're breathing.
Yeah, I think breathing's nice.
You know, considering you weren't breathing a while ago.
Yeah.
But
Don't think I have any heart conditions I don't know about. I'll have to go to
good
the
to know.
doctor and ask.
Hopefully they'll be able to discharge you in a couple hours, and then we can figure out what the fuck we're gonna do now.
Yeah. Can we not go back to Novgorod? Are we not allowed to go back?
Why wouldn't we be able to go back to Novgorod?
I don't know. If the military is mad at us.
I don't think that was the USCMC. I'm pretty sure that was John acting on his own.
Well, at least
could be wrong.
we can fuel up and get food so we don't all have to be in cryosleep the whole time.
True. I'm gonna go up to her, kind of squeeze her wrist, and then go, don't ever make me have to do CPR on you again, okay?
I'll do my best.
I'm gonna walk out into the hall if I can, and I'd like to check my my little data thing. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, the data transfer link.
Yeah. See if I have it.
Nothing. No
right.
flashes, no nothing. But what you do get is just out as you walk into the corridor, out the corner of your eye, you kind of sense a shadow just abruptly stop. Joshua, you also hear this as the individual goes, "Oh shit, it's the cops." And as you look up, you see your old friend Lee begin to run.
I'm running as fast as I fucking can after that fucking weasel.
Well, as you take off, we are going to stop there for our break. As you take off running. Everyone, go refill your snacks, refill your drinks, go to the bathroom, get yourself ready, and we shall be back in, I'm just going to set up timer, in about 10 minutes time, so go and get yourself sorted, and we shall be back. And
That's what I did,
we
like,
are
first
back.
thing.
Okay, so as Carrigan begins to take off after Lee. Joshua, are you seeing this and tailing off after? Or are you going to stay with Andrea?
I'm gonna look back at Andrea and be like, that hand squeeze, that was nice.
We should go help her. Okay, do I have like
You-
any IVs or anything?
Yeah, you are gonna stay in bed.
You don't have
I'm gonna
any
go help
IVs?
Carrigan.
I have no like any monitoring equipment on me, anything.
Joshua, you, now that you've kind of been able to relax from this stressful situation, you do find that the bed that Andrea is sitting in is a Pauling medpod. And Andrea is 99% good to go.
Well, if you're feeling better, we could probably get you out of here and go catch up to Carrigan.
We should go help Carrigan. Let's go.
Oh, you don't need help. I'm just gonna go watch the show.
Go ahead. I am too small to make a good takedown. That's true.
It's Carrigan. She don't need your help taking him down. It's just gonna be fun to watch.
Okay.
Put your clothes on, get out the gown,
Yeah.
and let's go catch the show.
Okay.
I'm gonna just leave the room and go, not leisurely stroll, but just kind of like make my way.
Oh yeah, Andrea's getting her clothes on.
Yeah.
Going up.
Between the kind of, in that time, you are able to get ready, join Joshua at the door, and you kind of, you don't take off, but you do kind of start trying to keep up as you see Carrigan running off, chasing someone. We are going to then flip back to Martha, where Tavin, you, for the first time in over a month, actually almost 3 months, find yourself on Martha alone with no one in cryosleep.
Not quite.
Oh, Jamie's there.
Jamie's on the ship. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna take a minute to try and calm down and like do the thing he does with his jacket and wrap his thumb in the leather cord and ground himself.
Yep. No problem.
And then he is going to send a message to the station, which I'm blanking on the name of, that we were trying to get to, Novgorod, to Jamie's father, saying, "Hey, this is Tavin, your dumbass son, stowed away on my ship. I will be sending him back on a transport ship that I will tell you what it is in a bit, in a different message." He's an idiot. and then Tavin is gonna get up, go kind of like grab Jamie by the scruff of his shirt, drag him out of the ship, and try and go find a transport ship that he can, like, that is going towards Novigrad, and be like, all right, get on.
Okay. As you grab Jamie, grab his stuff that he had brought with him, bag and stuff like that, you make it to outside Martha, where running out of the main kind of terminal area, you see someone that you sort of recognize, and then after a second you see a very quick moving Carrigan chasing after them, and a few seconds after that you see Joshua and a amazingly sprinting Andrea all following suit.
Do I recognize who they're chasing? Like, I recognize his face, but do I know who it is? Or was it too far away?
Give me an observation roll. And add a +1 because you do recognize the person.
2 successes. Oh wait, my stress would be at 0 because I did my grounding thing.
Yeah.
So ignore that.
Okay. Yeah, 2 successes. You recognize this as Lee, who you do know from Novgorod and other stations that you have been
He
to.
owes me money.
And he does indeed owe you a substantial amount of money.
Are we all running after this man?
Well, I think you two are running after Carrigan.
I'm going to ignore that for now and focus on getting Jamie on his way to Novigrad.
Okay.
Novgorod.
You go into the terminal building, you find the departures, and as you're looking, there currently isn't anything that's going that distance out of this station. The closest you would be able to kind of get him. Where's my thing? Where is it? There, it's there. It's this one. Shit. There is a transporter that's going to Anchor Point, but Anchor Point. It is 100 days travel, and you're kind of going to be sending them in the wrong direction.
Damn it. Okay.
And from Anchor Point to Novgorod is another 86 days, so you'd be sending them on 186 days worth of space travel.
How much would that cost?
Cost?
And I'll throw him on the cheapest fucking thing too. He's not getting first class transport.
For the 100, you're probably talking about 3,000 credits.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of travel for 0 cargo.
God damn it.
1 person. That's 2 transporters.
All right, well, I'm not spending that much money. All right, well, kid, unless you got 3,000, get back on the ship.
it kind of does that pat of the pockets. I don't have anything. And with a smile on his face, starts trampling off back to Martha.
I will go back to Martha, send another message saying, never mind, it's too fucking expensive. You're gonna owe me credits for getting your son back alive to you because he's a fucking idiot. And then he's gonna go clean up the multiple pools of vomit in the ship.
No problem. As in you or Jamie's going to?
Tavin's gonna go tell Jamie
Yeah,
to do it.
okay. That quickly washes the smile off Jamie's face, but he does go and do just that with a
Has
Captain.
Tavin ever been to this planet?
You have not. However, you have been past it, but you've never actually set foot on it.
Tavin's gonna go walk around the spaceport till he finds like another pilot and be like, "Hey, what's the best place for a pilot to get a drink, man?"
It doesn't take you long because it is a somewhat busy port with people coming in and out. You are able to find a pilot, and he lets you know that, well, if you want the best, you have to head to Riley's. And he'll kind of point you in this kind of rough direction so that when you see it, you'll know.
All right, thanks, man. And Tavin's gonna make his way towards the bar.
Easy enough. What you notice about this place is as you're walking, there's nothing that's domed. This looks like kind of normal streets in buildings. Some are made of kind of your typical metal kind of walls and stuff, but others are made of concrete, things that you haven't really seen all that often, not being on planets. It's usually the space station, so it's like a nice break from just the metal look. But as you kind of walk down this kind of main kind of roadway, you do turn onto the street where you were told to kind of go, and this place is lit up like Las Vegas. There's neon lights everywhere. There's flashing lights. There's just, it's a vibrant entertainment kind of life area that they have. And as you kind of wander through, you do find this somewhat dingy but still neon light signage of Riley's bar, and you're able to go inside. It's not necessarily like full to the gunnels, but it is a somewhat busy establishment, and you're able to go and get yourself a drink.
That's what he's gonna do. He's not gonna get a lot. He's not trying to get hammered, but it's alcohol. He can afford it. He's got cash.
No problem. Well, what is your poison? Are you wanting the hard stuff or are you wanting just the cheap stuff.
Tavin, since he can afford it, is getting nothing but really fruity drinks that taste like candy.
That is absolutely no problem at all. Riley's has everything. It's at that point where Tavin, you start getting the same kind of feeling where it's kind of hard to make out the kind of grumblings that people are like just talking to each other and stuff like that. But you are able to kind of find yourself. Are you sitting at the bar? Are you finding like just a little booth table area just out the way?
Yeah, he's just trying to be out of the way, just to, chill out and drink.
As you kind of find a seat, sit down, there is a button on the tables. Just a big red button that's flashing. And underneath it has the little sign that says, "Press me."
Tavin's gonna press the button.
Okay. Within about 10 seconds, this little 3-wheeled robot approaches your table, and on the kind of face, it just has every drink that is served at this bar, and you're able to click as many as you want. And as you do, robot speeds off almost like, and this is when you look out and you see that there's multiple of these robots just whizzing about, going to tables, going back to the bar, delivering drinks to tables, and within kind of a couple of minutes, your drink or drinks are brought to your table with a little beat bop. Robot goes off and your button begins to flash again for whenever you require your next drink.
He's gonna drink them slowly. He's not trying to get hammered.
Nope, that's fair. Okay, so as you are enjoying your drink, we flip back to a pursuing Carrigan. Give me an observation, Carrigan.
One.
Success. Okay. You are able to keep kind of track of Lee, and it's not that you can't keep up with them through speed, but Lee just seems to have a little bit more knowledge of the terrain and the area, and seems to keep on kind of darting and thing, and you are able to keep on going, and
it would be ridiculous for me to just shoot him, right? Not like a mortal wound, but like in the knee.
I mean, you could try, but as game mother, I have to say that
I'm not on my station.
crowded area, don't know where you are, don't know what governs here, but you certainly can if you wish.
No, I'm gonna keep fucking chasing him though.
Okay. Give me mobility. Or would this be agility? Can never remember if I think it would just be agility.
Okay.
Yeah, just go with agility.
I have a success.
You have a success. You are able to keep up. Again, just when you feel like you're kind of catching up. They make a dart down another kind of street, and it kind of throws you to then have to readjust and go. Joshua and Andrea, can you give me
Yeah.
agility rolls as well as you try to keep up?
Oh, I got 0 successes. I'm a push.
Okay.
Oh,
Still got 0 successes.
Okay. Joshua and Andrea, having left that little bit later to try and catch up with Carrigan, after a few streets, you do find yourself beginning to fall back. Can you give me a observation rolls to see if you do keep eyes on Carrigan and Lee?
That is a success.
Okay.
No.
Joshua.
I gotta.
Give me your panic
Why do I
roll.
have 2 stresses? I should only have 1 stress.
Roll
wait.
distress die.
oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Joshua, you quickly lose eyes on Carrigan and Lee, and by not knowing who she's chasing after, you begin to have this kind of nervous feeling bubble where it's just the feeling of unknown as to who she's chasing, where are we, and stuff like that. Andrea, even though you are kind of falling back, you do manage to kind of keep track and see which direction Carrigan is kind of moving. So you would kind of be able to continue in that direction.
okay, Joshua. Listen, we could go around and we could cut him off.
I'm good with that plan. We should probably like help her out. Things that are
Yeah,
let's do that.
because they're going this way. So if we hang to the right and keep going down, it looks like how these streets are built. We might be able to catch him at another intersection up there.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's go. You okay?
I'm good. We really need to find Carrigan.
Okay.
okay, mother.
Yes.
Let me know when you're ready to go back to me, and then I have a question for you.
Yeah, no, we were just Andrea, Joshua, you kind of pick your direction that you want to go, kind of trying to sum up the kind of cut the difference, and you kind of bomb down a side street to the right,
Yeah.
in the hopes of cutting off. Carrigan, do catch up to you as again Lee is just slowly getting away, and you try to catch up. What is your
Trying
first-
to cut off Lee, not trying to cut off
Yeah.
Carrigan.
If I can, I would like to shout Lee, and you can tell me whether I can do this or not. I'd like to try and use command to tell him to stop, because that is bending people to my will.
Okay, you can do that.
Or it's not called command. It's my special thing, authority.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Change.
You can
Yeah.
go for that. So as you yell out, kind of trying to force Lee to stop, give me your roll. 1 success. As you are in this motion of catching up, Lenny getting away, catching up again, it just gets to the point where the aggression that has built up over everything with Tavin, everything with Andrea, everything just going on, everything with your dad, everything with Bishop. It just says, and with this ferocity of a roar, you just yell out to Lee, and Lee sort of hesitates in their run, where they kind of look back towards you as if to try and gauge the distance. But it's at that point where your authoritative yell doesn't necessarily stop Lee, but Lee does take an almighty whack as you see this somewhat tall, average built brick shithouse of a man just clotheslines, just sort of appears out of nowhere and just takes Lee out of the game and just sort of stands over them as you catch up and find Lee dazed and confused on the ground at your feet.
Stick my hand out for a handshake. Marshall Mackenzie, thanks for the assist.
This guy sort of looks at your hand, looks at your kind of colonial marshal emblem on your suit, and has this sort of, it's not necessarily like a disgust kind of look, but you get the sense of not particularly fond as he puts out his hand, shakes yours, and gives you a, that's all right. He's a wanker.
Indeed. I'd like to pull Lee up.
Yeah. Lee is still very confused, dazed, kind of looking around, giving out little groans.
What are you doing, bud?
Why are you here?
Why am I here? Well, you know that shit that you brought onto my station? Well, Wayland Yutani sent out some people. Turns out that shit came from a station and a bunch of people are crazy. And it's just been an absolute shit show. So what are you doing here? And where in the fuck did you get that shit from, Lee?
I'm just trying to work. I don't know where this stuff came from.
You don't know who gave it to you?
No, it was just some people that needed it transported.
What people?
I don't know, they were just mysterious and shit. I don't know.
So you just transported random shit out of the goodness of your heart without any type of communication or payment?
No, they paid me. It's really all I need.
And so who paid you, Lee?
It was just a little credit transfer. Like, I don't keep paper trails. Why would I want that kind of shit? This is all in hand.
You're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd like to handcuff him.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to handcuff.
Look to the guy I shook hands with. Be like, is there a marshal office? This guy brought dangerous materials to Novgorod. He may have brought them here.
Well,
Like make people go fucking crazy type of dangerous, man.
we don't really have any colonial officers here. Like, we don't run like that, but and they'll kind of
Do you
look
have
at Lee.
Any law here?
We have law, but we don't have upholders of your law here. And he'll look at Lee. Yeah. Did you bring shit onto my planet? And Leo kind of have that kind of stuttering voice as he's trying to find the words. And you gotta kind of look at you and go, we don't have that kind of law here, but there is one way that we do deal with this types of people. And it's at that point he does bring out a pistol and aims it at the head of Lee.
Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. Cause okay. I need him because I need more information from him. So could we make a deal? Can I take him back to the ship that I'm on and promise to secure him there and you won't shoot him and I'll take him off of your hands? Could we work that out?
As you say that, and the guy kind of listens intently, and as he pulls his trigger and nothing happens, he gives a slight smirk to you and goes, what kind of people do you think we actually are that would just shoot some random person for whatever reason?
Man, I don't know where I am. We came here because someone on our ship had a heart attack. And this was the closest place to get to. I don't know the planet that I'm on.
You're the ship that had the emergency.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. At that moment, Joshua and Andrea, you are able to find Carrigan with a handcuffed, confused Lee and this gentleman.
Aww. Didn't help. Are you okay, Carrigan?
I'm fine.
Okay. Hello, sir. Thank you for helping my friend.
Well, at least someone has manners on this place.
I shook your hand. I introduced myself.
Well, a
And I
thank
said
you
thank you
would
for
go
the
a lot
assist.
longer than just
I
hello.
said thank you for the assist.
Yeah, well, it didn't feel like you meant it.
I did. Wouldn't have said it if I didn't mean it.
She is very straightforward.
Joshua. So at this point, the gentleman looks at you. Joshua, sweet.
I'm just kind of leaned up against the building.
And he takes a walk over to you. And he's going to give me an agility roll.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Right, give me your panic roll.
Jesus Christ, I'm about to have a breakdown.
Nope, you're still good.
So do we all the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range?
It says it increases.
Yeah, by 1. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as you feel this twitch come on, Joshua, you feel the cold, hard hand of this gentleman upon your chin as he gives you an almighty clobber. And you fall back,
What the fuck?
arse over kettle,
Why are you mad at him?
and
Hi, Bear.
he'll look at you and go, "What the fuck are you doing here?" As he puts out
This
a
man's named
hand
Krova.
to lift you.
Is this man literally a bear?
Is this man a big Scottish man named Krova?
No.
Almost went there, but I called him Bear instead. Oh,
Joshua, you do
Medical.
recognize this gentleman from many a year ago as Mac.
medical emergency, hyperlight jump. You know, shit happens, and you end up here.
Of all places, this is where you come.
Not by choice. Not by choice.
It's kind of hard to accept that, you know?
I mean, he's with me. We're the emergency ship. We established that. Bear?
Well, Mac, but the guys called him Bear because look at him.
What can I call you? What do you want to be called?
And you could call me your Royal Highness,
Oh, that's
Or-
a nice one.
Sir, or General of the World.
Ooh.
You're still doing that shtick, Bear, General of the World?
Well, General of this world now.
Wow.
Like for real? Like you're in charge?
Yeah. After that whole thing that happened, they decided that they could no longer stop me. So they gave me this place. And as you can see, it's booming.
Part of me thinks you're telling the truth. The other part of me thinks you're on that bullshit time like you always are. Nobody just gives people planets, Bear.
As you say that, he gives a bit of a chuckle as he pulls down his breast pocket to reveal that
I'm sorry.
the insignia that he does now have is that of the General of the Royal Marines Commandos, which is one of the highest honors you can receive under the what's the thing called? Hold on, where is it? The Three World Empire.
Wow, I've never seen one of those.
Well, they don't just give it out to absolutely anybody.
No, they just gave it to you.
You're damn fucking right they did. So anyway, why are he's out this far? I know you said that you took an FTL, but why this direction? There's fuck
I'm
all out here.
sorry. I had a heart attack and they needed to get somewhere that could. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
It's not
That's
her
a
fault.
good reason. I will say that.
Well, yeah, it's not her fault though. Our kind of shit for brains pilot threatened to vent a captain in the USCMC into space, and so when he reboarded his ship, apparently, he took aim at us, and then our pilot FTL'd without telling anybody. She had a heart attack, and we were trying to go to Novgorod. I guess we shot past that, and then it was an emergency, and we had to FTL again to make sure that we could get her to some medical care.
Okay, well, can tell you right now, you are mighty far from Novgorod. You are a good chunk away.
Yeah, well, if it's fine with you, we'll just get some food and be on our way so we don't cause you any more trouble.
Oh, there's no trouble at all. There's plenty here that you can relax. I think it's a bit maybe not be wise you kind of traveling that kind of distance. I mean, you're a good
We
while
already only
away.
had, like, from what I understand, like 3 days of food or something like that.
Yeah,
So-
but if we resupply, then it'll be fine.
Look, it's late in the day as it is already, although you wouldn't know. Apologies about the weather. But look, spend the night, have a drink, get some food, get some rest. We'll get your ship fueled and resupplied in the morning, and then you can fuck off all you want. But you look as if you need a good night off.
Did you describe this guy other than he was a massive man?
He is quite tall in built, but not in a kind of bulky, stocky way. This looks like a not thin, but just physically solid. He has
Lean. Lean.
Yeah, lean. And he has a somewhat, it's strange, he's wearing a somewhat jumpsuit, which is strange for his rank, because normally it's kind of like the whole fucking suit shebang for that kind of out and about thing. Blonde hair, blue eyes, kind of chiseled.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got somewhere that you can stick him if you do in fact want to take him with you, but as much as he's wanker, he's kind of harmless.
Well, he's not so harmless. He brought a chemical onto Novgorod. Like, I need to know more about this chemical, and I kind of need all the information I can get from him. Plus, he's a massive pain in my ass on a good day.
What kind of chemical are you talking about?
Oh, I forgot what it was called. Black sticky shit makes people go crazy.
And eventually kills them. Sometimes they kill themselves. We're not entirely sure why. We've seen 2 kill themselves.
Yeah.
Kind of makes the skin go grey.
Yeah.
Very sweaty and sticky.
Yeah. You familiar?
Oh, it's been through quite a lot of places out here. quite surprised that you're only just finding out about it at your neck of the woods.
Have you done an investigation at all, or is this kind of
Oh fuck
just
no, we've no touched the shit. See what happens to people. Oh, that was all. That was out that way. That was kind of, that's your USCMC and that stuff there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might have been part of the reason why our pilot threatened to vent the.
Still wasn't wise.
I'm not
It's
saying it was wise. I'm
understandable.
just saying it's, you know.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. You're on a ship. And you're surrounded by 6 USCMC ships. You gonna threaten to vent their captain?
Was he being a dick?
He was being a Marine.
Same thing, probably.
Andrea nods aggressively when he asks if he was being a dick.
Well, there's a caveat to that. If Bear knew who it was, he would definitely threaten to space him.
With 6 ships.
Yeah. Bear would threaten it. I could guarantee
You know,
it.
John Bishop as well.
What a fucking asshole. Yeah, I would have vented him.
What a happy family we seem to be. You don't know Sean Mackenzie, do you?
I've had encounters.
You've had encounters.
Yeah.
Bad?
Not all of them. He could put away his drink, but he seemed very... Funnily enough, he seemed very curious about the exact same chemical that you came here looking about.
Has he been here recently?
Not recently. Probably about
Within the last 50 days?
Oh, not in the last 50 days. We're probably talking about 8-9 months ago.
Oh, that recently.
Yeah, he comes
Yeah.
by occasionally. Maybe every couple of years he'll come by and ask questions. But
Can I ask you, was he here in official capacity for the USCMC?
in the beginning, aye, but
Last time.
last time, no. He's not been here in kind of USCMC capacity for probably about 20 years. It's been a good while since he was actually here, but he still comes here asking about his research and stuff like that, but it's not really changed since
Asks about his research here?
then. Yeah. When we colonized here, it was for the lovely weather and the bountiful mining opportunities that we had here. And we're not far from a few places of political interest, if you put it that way. And we became the sort of communication hub between a lot of these places. So we tend to get a lot of people coming out that kind of stop here, enjoy their nightlife, and then venture off to wherever they were continuing to go to. But Sean Mackenzie, in the last few recent times that he's been coming, he's not been as dickish about
He's
everything.
retired now. Or at least he says he's retired now. You can't
Okay.
decide if he actually retired. because he was forcibly retired, or if you just said that to, I don't know, piss off his only daughter.
Well, I do remember him talking about something that had went down, because again, we used to talk in kind of business capacity or official capacity, and then he did say that something had happened and he was no longer in the kind of correspondence and stuff, but that didn't really stop him from coming to get his information.
I'm sorry. I did introduce myself, Marshall Mackenzie. Carrigan. Sean Mackenzie's daughter.
Now understanding why you had questions.
Hmm.
And I believe I've probably put him in a lot of shit.
He put himself in shit.
Okay, well, as I put in my mouth, I apologize if I've given
didn't put your
Joshua,
foot in your mouth.
how's the family?
Hey, you told the
Wouldn't
truth.
know.
I appreciate it, man.
Who was that, Dux?
They're not with me currently.
Okay, well, this seems like a great bonding experience, and I have continued to say things. Okay. Andrea, do you have any past trauma that you want me to bring up and put that there?
Well, would you like to join us for a drink or some food or anything?
Well, I'm not one to say no. What are you in the mood for? Do you want a good old time? Do you want a quiet time? Do you want food first? Do you want drink first? There's plenty of places here that you can have a good night.
Andrea's desperately looking between Carrigan and Josh.
Josh is just sort of like looking. How would I put this? A mixture of like fuck off and great.
Oh.
I could eat.
Food would be good.
I could eat.
Very well. I guess, do you want me to put Prickface here somewhere? You can get him tomorrow. Or do you
You
want to
promise
just
I'm gonna
take
get him
him
back?
I mean, unless he dies, then probably. But we can't make promises. But we can keep him safe. You will have a body in the morning.
Through no interference of theirs, if he was not healthy.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. He leads you all to. It's not necessarily like an official jail type building, but he does lead you to a building where there does appear to have security personnel, and Lee is put into a kind of lockup where he will be monitored for you are ready to receive, and he does start leading you into the kind of main street, and we are going to switch back over to Tavin, who is currently at Riley's bar. You have had your drink, or as many drinks as you have purchased.
Only a couple.
Nope, that's no problem. Your very fruity, sugar-filled alcoholic beverages will set you back probably about 15 credits. So there's a decent amount of alcohol in them.
Right. After that, Tavin's going to make his way back to the ship,
Okay.
and while he was drinking, he was thinking about everything that led to us doing an FTL jump, and he is gonna go inspect that clear liquid trail that we were following, and does it look like the liquid that's used in cryosleep?
Give me an observation.
Right.
One
success.
It very much looks like the gel that would be within the cryobase.
All right. He's then going to go into the cargo where the body is still hanging and lower the body. And is it moving at all as he walks
No.
towards it?
Nope. It is
Okay.
just the only movement is the sway, but there's no movement from the body.
He's gonna lower the body and drag it over to one of the bolted down airtight crates
Okay.
and stick the body in there to secure it.
As
So
you're
that there's
lowering the body, give me an agility roll.
great.
Okay.
One success.
You lower the body and you're able to take the weight, and you are in fact able to drag the body over to one of the kind of, you'll probably have a couple just left over, and because of space travel and deep space traveling and stuff, you will have crates that are specifically made to contain bodies that of those that have perished and need to be transported. You don't have many, but you have kind of like 2 of them that have just been left over. So you are able to put the body into a crate, secure it.
He's
bolt
also
it.
gonna bolt it down
Mhm.
like extra, like put straps on it so that thing can't be opened.
Yeah, this is you on paranoia times 10 from remembering what happened to the cryo pod. This, like, without finding sheet metal and welding this thing down, this is as secure as you can possibly make it.
Then I think he's just gonna go to his like little room that he has in the ship and just try and like relax for a bit just by himself.
No, that's no problem. As you make your way kind of up, you are able to kind of just get that quiet that you're kind of looking for. Jamie is elsewhere on the ship. He has cleaned up your the vomit and the bay and all that kind of stuff. But you do appear to be having your alone time.
On the way, he's gonna go find Jamie actually, and I'm gonna give him 50 credits and say, "Get off my ship for the night."
Okay. As you find Jamie is currently in the kind of galley, like the main kitchen area, and he's just kind of writing something on a piece of paper. You go up to him, give him the 50 credits. Kind of looks at you confused and a little scared, but he does kind of captain, and he vacates your ship.
Then he's gonna go
Okay.
to his room.
You make it to your room and you relax, or you look to seek relaxation through any means that you can.
He's just reading like really cheap novels that you would find like at the equivalent of like highway stops, that they're like 99-cent cheap, terribly printed, terribly written novels, and he's just got like a pile of them that he goes through.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're able to do just that. Just kind of read the night away until I imagine you would somewhat find the relaxation that you're looking for. Because I imagine while you're doing this, you're thumb in, loop kind of thing, just doing everything that you can to kind of just de-stress. So yeah, you're able to do that. Is there anything else you wish to do?
Not unless anyone comes to the ship, no.
No problem. So yeah, we will flash back over to the four of you, minus Lee now, who is now secured. And Mac is leading you all down this street, and as he leads you into and takes this turn, this is where you all now see this brightly lit kind of corridor of just flashing lights and neon, and there's music, there's some muffled, there's some loud, and it just looks like this bustling nightlife sort of strip all the way down, probably a good long mile worth of just entertainment. So he leads you all down and brings you to this sort of hidden away. It's like you've got the kind of main street with the kind of like stores and like the closed stores and that are now, as it's kind of later into the evening, and he leads you down this kind of not necessarily dark, it's just dimly lit staircase, and as you go into this building, it is almost night and day from the outside world. This is a very sort of quiet, you feel like you can hear gentle jazz just being played in the background. It looks somewhat more like an expensive place, but at the same time, it doesn't give off, the people here don't give off that vibe. It just feels as if the people here should be a lot more fancy than they are. And
It's the classy dive bar.
well, this is the restaurant.
Oh,
This isn't
okay.
quite the bar yet. This is
We said we were hungry.
you said you were hungry, and he takes you in and goes, well, you seem as if it's been a hot minute since you have had a decent meal, so this is one of the finer establishments that we have on this lovely planet here. And you're led to your table, where you can order as lavish or as unlavish meal as you wish.
Anything?
Pretty much anything.
Carrigan's gonna order a steak. and a loaded baked potato. And a tall, freezing ice cold cola.
Okay.
Bacon cheeseburger, fries, and a beer.
Andrea.
Just gonna order a glass of water.
Well,
When she does that, Carrigan's gonna be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
I
even Mac looks at
mean-
you and goes, "Are you fucking serious?"
no.
You were in space longer. Well, no, we were in
Yeah.
space the same amount of
The
time,
same amount of time,
I know.
okay?
but I didn't have to, it is cup noodles. Why aren't you eating?
Okay.
You also died. I mean, who knows when
Yeah.
that's going to happen again?
Just didn't wanna.
Next week.
Okay. So she'll then get a burger and fries.
Okay. And the waiter kind of heads off, and probably about 10-15 minutes later, food and drink is brought, and everything is exactly as ordered. Everything is perfect, and it's strange.
It's strange.
Yeah,
How's it
because it's
strange?
been a hot minute since you have had such
Okay.
lovely food that wasn't from Martha's galley. It wasn't
noodle.
prefab fucking dishes. This is on a plate. You have a knife and fork.
Carrigan is just cutting her steak into the perfect size little bites, and it's just like,
Better than sex, ain't it, Carrigan?
always.
That's a shame.
What? Why is it a shame?
If you know, you know, Andrea. If you know, you know.
Well,
I
you're not a
clearly
woman.
don't.
And now we're getting fucking personal.
You're getting very personal. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on.
So, how did how you and Josh know each other? Sir, you said a bunch of crazy things that you would prefer to be called. So I guess we're going with sir.
General of the world.
She
I'm not going
gets
to
it.
call him that. I'm not going
That's
to
a
call you
fun
that. man.
idea.
Well, I'll let you into a little bit of a secret that he will not like. But I met him when I had my sight aimed between his fucking eyes.
Kind of not surprising.
Yep. That's what happens when you're on two different sides of this shitty universe. But
Tell the whole story, Bear.
felt sorry for him. He's pissing shit-stained trousers. Tears streaming down his face. Oh, it was a mess. It was like snot and everything. I thought, I can't kill this. It's like killing a baby goat.
Specifically a goat.
Yes. Baby goat.
Okay.
That's what you're going with, Bear? That's what you're going with?
Yep. That's what I've been saying for the last 20 years. That's what I'll continue to say.
Piss and shit stained trousers?
if you have
That-
another way of this story, then please do divulge.
Actually, I do, because that's not how. Well, the gun sight, that's correct. But you left out the important bit.
And what important bit was that?
The important bit was, yeah, we were on opposing sides, and you did have me aimed on, but I was also elbow deep in blood and guts to fix your commanding officer, who had decided he was going to do some shit and get killed. And I, being the good doctor that I am, didn't decide to play favorites. Patched him up, went on his way. All the while, I had your big dumb ass aiming at me. So it wasn't piss and shit. It was blood and guts and mud and rain.
I mean, those
Was it
can
here?
look similar.
Was it
Okay.
here?
Oh no, not here.
No. Some backwater bullshit
Yeah.
planet like
This-
15, 20 years ago.
It's just because it's raining here.
But here's the thing, Mackenzie. Heart attack. What story do you think sounds better?
From whose perspective?
I mean, for me, I have to go with Joshua because he was trying to help someone.
I mean, there wasn't really much
But that's just
helping.
me.
Like, guy didn't have a head.
He didn't have a head.
That came later. Don't lie. That came later.
Still happened. Still
Okay,
happened.
that's not relevant though to how you found him.
The fact that the convoy hit an explosive device and the commanding officer who I had patched up lost his head, then that has nothing to do with me and you. That's later. Don't be see, I know what you're doing, Bear. You're doing this thing where you like to like smash shit together because you're like, oh, I'm fucking Bear. I'm gonna tell me a funny story and make myself out to be king of the world. That's not how it works, Bear. That's not how it works.
But here's the next bit then. How is it that him saving someone that was going to die is better than me not killing the person that was going to save someone that ended up dying? I feel
So
as if
if
I came out
he-
stronger in this. I could have killed him, but I thought he's trying to help people.
Well, but he didn't know that the man was going to lose his head later on. So that's unless we have like psychic abilities, there's really no way of edging that in. I think your story is better if you're trying to denote your own humanity and the in the trenches of war, but I think his story is better if we're trying to look at the truth.
Andrea.
She's got you. She's got you there, Bear. And
Okay,
let me add on to this. Let me add on to this. Okay, if it wasn't for that fateful day in the piss and the blood, who would have ran distraction when you decided to sleep with that admiral's daughter?
But what?
Where were you then? Crying and oh, I'm gonna get court-martialed. Don't try and make yourself out to be better than you are, Bear.
Wait,
Just
wait,
because you're
so-
like general of the world.
Did you guys serve together or against each? Now I'm confused because whose
Both.
admiral's daughter did he sleep with? Because that's a good story too. Like that's a real good story.
Look, once you cycle loyalties, your line shift, and then you got operations. Sometimes you work together, sometimes you work against each other.
We never
But it
worked
was
together.
let's
You just get that right out your head.
yeah,
Aw.
because you don't play well with others.
No, we don't play
Again-
well with who you were representing.
Look, that
Why you call him Bear?
look at him. He's
He's
built like a brick
Yeah,
shit house.
look at me.
And he's not the smartest tool in the shed.
Fuck you.
But
Mm,
Look
Well,
at this
well-
nice place he took us to.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a far cry from the fucking taco trucks and fucking dive bars. He's just
Well,
fancy
yeah,
'cause he's a
because
general now.
when you're low level and low rank, that's what you do. It's where you live,
No,
and then
that's not true.
It's called
And
hospitality.
what when you can't afford the nicer places, you don't go to taco trucks.
Just as an aside, while everybody's been talking, Carrigan has been just demolishing the steak and potato. And it is like she's on like last bites. Like everybody's being nice and not talking with their mouth full. Not her. She's just like chew, ask a question, chew, ask a question.
Probably witnessing that, the waiter will probably have came across and kind of like hushed got your attention to see if you wish for another one to be brought.
Not another steak. You got chocolate cake?
Oh.
We can do something. And he'll
Cool.
kind of bring me off.
So
Wait, if you
So-
finish your food, you get dessert? What?
Only if you eat your greens.
I didn't order any grains. What do I do?
Well, you can have dessert.
There's lettuce on your burger.
Okay, well, I'll eat the greens.
So to make a long, complicated, boring ass story short, Andrea, yes, Bear and I technically never worked together, but we were in the same theater quite often.
And I guess I can agree that he tried to do something nice, even though it didn't work out for him. But the effort was there, and we decided to let him live, even though he crossed into our side. So we still come out the better side.
So what's this about sleeping with an admiral's daughter?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I was drunk.
Okay, fair.
Lies.
Sort of drunk.
Okay, fair.
On the way to drunk, but not drunk.
And I mean, it wasn't my Admiral. It was,
Did she like it?
I mean, of course.
Did you like it?
A gentleman doesn't tell,
Okay.
but it is one of the reasons why me and Bishop don't see eye to eye.
Oh, fair enough.
So yes, I would very much vent him, and if I ever meet this pilot that you think so highly of, I shall shake their hand for at least threatening.
Tavin's nice. He's I think he was just stressed. I think we were all just stressed.
I don't know this nice guy you're talking about.
Kind of lean to Joshua. Is she always this hostile?
I'm fine. I'm not hostile.
I mean, the way you've been cutting and eating that steak, it's as if you've got a bloodthirst.
I haven't.
Well, we've been in space for a while. Like we had some cryo sleeps, had some traumatic experiences. Like
I've got a question.
Hmm.
Did yous all know each other?
no,
Apparently,
Oh.
I knew Andrea.
I knew her, and that's it.
Carrigan's the marshal of the station I work at, so I know her a little
Oh.
bit.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
So there is a very awkward vibe kind of kicking about. Like,
What do you mean?
it's hard to really tell if he's like each other. I'm just got to say that right now.
I like all of them.
You
Of
do
course the
seem like
suit
that
like
kind of
does.
person that just everybody is benefit of the doubt. Just they're cool.
Andrea's issues and mine are their own. That's neither here or there. I have nothing against Josh. I had nothing against our pilot until he woke me up from cryo sleep before everybody else to try and intimidate me.
Mhm. Well,
Is that cake here yet?
that does sound like a bit of a dick thing to do. Like, you don't intimidate people like that. You point a gun at them. That usually cuts right through that. You don't need words when you can shoot them. And it is at that point that this lavish, kind of indulgent chocolate cake with just love is placed at the table with some serving plates. So just before we eventually go and get a drink and you probably all forget what happened here, what the fuck are you doing finding black shit?
I wasn't part of the job. Part of the job was go to the station, pick up cargo, go back station. Shit got fucked up, and we ended up here. And
Waylon,
apparently this
Go ahead.
apparently
sorry.
this black goo keeps popping up. It's the only common denominator that we've come across in the last 2 months. So I think the plan now is to patch everything up and start investigating where this black goo came from. And hopefully that'll lead us to answers.
Waylon, you taught
And
me
we can get
tried to.
paid.
Waylon, you taught me tried to bribe the marshals into sending a marshal out there on a team to have someone in their pocket. It's not exactly working out that way. I am the person they selected. However, I'm not working on behalf of Waylon Yutani. I am working on the behalf of the Colonial Marshals to figure out what they're interested in and why.
That's fair. Understandable. Although, with how much Wayland Yutani puts into colonial marshals and the Marines and that, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bribe at this point. It's just employment payment. But they're all bastards anyway as well. It's a good thing you came here though, because they run this fucking place as well. So, but the good thing that comes with Wayland Yutani is you can take their shit and they don't really notice.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. Like,
It's one of the perks of the job, honestly.
it really is. You just,
As long as you fill out the right paperwork and like put in the right things to say that didn't show up or whatever, you just can take it.
you fill out paperwork.
Well, I mean
Andrea.
that I have to. I work there. I have to, right? You don't have to because you don't work there.
I mean, we sort of like their HQ is kind of like a few
Well,
streets
yeah,
over.
but I mean, like you're not specifically a Wayland Yutani employee.
No, we work under the Three World Empire, but
Yeah.
Wayland
I have to
Yutani
fill
pretty
out more
much own
paperwork.
us.
Also, if you're friends with anybody in the tech department, watch for the disposals. Perfectly good units thrown out. They're cleared, like there's no information on them or anything like that. But because they're gonna go to the garbage anyway, why not take it and do something else with it?
I'm just watching Carrigan intently as Andrea's describing corporate espionage and theft.
That's not espionage.
It's as you're kind of saying that, Andrea, Matt kind of gets this smile across his face. So you know exactly how to fuck with the system in order to get shit for free, especially with Yale and Jutani. That's what you're saying.
Not always for free. You usually have to pay for your equipment.
Andrea,
Yeah.
think about who you're talking to.
This is not against the law. You pay for it.
That's not what I mean.
You gotta pay for it twice.
Carrigan, just let it happen. Eat your cake. Let it happen.
Are you saying I shouldn't say anything? Okay.
Max kind of
The
looking
disposal
at
things
both
is
of you.
entirely possible, though. It's how most companies work.
I don't know why I'm trying to save your job.
The disposal thing is entirely legal and possible, and they have the permissions to do that.
Let me ask you a question. Can you get weaponry through these
No.
forms? See, that's
No.
that's where you're fucking up. At that point, he brings out a pistol and puts it on the table in front of you. Goes, can you get any of them?
I don't think so. I have to go to outside sources to get weaponry. I'm not for weapons.
See, that's where you fucked up. They're even easier to get a hoodie without a paper trail.
What?
And he is going to slide that weapon towards you as you now have access to a gun. Don't worry about it. On me. Just sometimes we have to stick it to them, you know. Fuck Whale and Yutani. And also you have to let us know how to fill in these forms.
Okay. I can tell you that. I can give you the on bureaucracy, but you can't do it too much. They notice. They notice if you do it too much.
Did you see the polling med pods that we have at the hospital?
Yeah.
Do you think we paid for them? Whale
I
and
don't know how
Yutani don't know
hospitals work.
shit.
I mean, it is kind of a gigantic, almost eldritch monstrosity where every piece of it is only loosely seen by another piece that is overseen by another piece. And really, it's kind of why a whole bunch of really good things happen and then also a whole bunch of really bad things happen. We can't take care of everything.
Exactly. And that's where you strike. You take everything and then put it to somebody that needs it.
Slowly take the weapon.
I will send you the stuff. I can't copy it on my phone and send
Fair
you it,
enough.
so I'll send you it.
Fair enough.
But how is everybody done with their food?
I'm good.
Are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. The waiter comes across, puts the bill on the table. Mac slides the bill in front of Joshua. Joshua, you
No, Andrea will pay.
you see a bill in front of you for 1,200 credits. Mac gives a chuckle, hands over his credit stick, company card, and
Company card indeed.
you
General.
all head out, and as you are all walking along along the street, Mac is kind of leading yous along. These are kind of just back and forth conversation about stuff. He does let you know that the planet you are currently located on is planet Alba, and the settlement that you are in is called New Glasgow.
Called it.
And as yous are walking along, he's telling you about this bar, Riley's, and how it's the best bar in the place. You can get any alcohol that you want. There's a lot of other consumables. And Carrigan, you are stopped in your tracks as you recognize the figure that is standing in front of you as Mac stops and looks, and you all look. Carrigan, you are face to face with your father, and that is where we're going to end today's episode.
I'm gonna punch him.
Punch him good.
And she says she ain't got anger issues.
Do a big punch.
So, yes, that is where we'll end. Next week is our break week, as we've done 3 episodes. But the following Sunday, the 31st, is Easter Sunday, and a few of the cast members aren't able to make it. So we're going to take a second week off again.
I'm a mom, guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Mama.
Life gets in the way. So the next episode will be, I'm sure it's the 7th of April. So
Yeah.
2 Sundays break, and then we'll be back. So we apologise for the longer kind of break, but at the same time, it gives us all a good chance to kind of get a lot more stuff set up. Let's everybody have a nice 2 weeks off and back to the intense situation that I imagine is going to transpire as Carrigan has now came face to face with her father for the first time in probably a while.
She's not gonna punch him, but I don't know what she'll do. We'll figure that out.
Yeah. So yes, everybody enjoy your next 21 days, 20 days off, before the next time we are back. It really adds up when you actually think of it that way.
Holidays, God.
I know, right? But if you're celebrating Easter, have a nice Easter. If you're not celebrating Easter, have a nice Sunday, I guess.
Happy St. Patrick's Day as well.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
St. Paddy's Day, not Patrick's Day.
No, St.
Paddy's
Paddy's.
Day.
So yes, enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully your Monday is even better than it probably will be. So yes, have a nice time, everybody. Goodbye.